Good morning everyone, myself Sanjeev Kumar. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss conditions to build up the voltage in DC generators, self-excited generators. We already know self-excited generators, they itself having the field winding, so some field current flows to them, they will induce the EMF, but there must be some condition to satisfy so that the buildup of voltage is going to be possible. So let us see what are the conditions to fulfill to generate the EMF in self-excited DC generators. Now the first one is there must be residual magnetism so that it have EMF at field current at zero. Now what is meant by residual magnetism? So if you see the magnetic properties, we are having the BH loop curve. So as the magnetic material is magnetized, it may not be demagnetized. So if you see the curve for here, so as the material is going to be demagnetized, that means if you make an electromagnet by making a piece, so if you take a electromagnet, now if you give the power supply, it will become an electromagnet and it is going to be magnetized. But when you remove the supply, it may not be completely demagnetized and it chooses the another path. So this is the magnetizing path and this is the demagnetizing path. So it may not return in the same manner, so that there is some magnetism left in the winding, so that there is some EMF since the field current is also zero. So we already discussed the OCC of generator starts from the some point OA, nothing but this is the residual magnetic voltage. Now this is the EMF. So since field current is zero, we are having some voltage. This is the first condition to fulfill to build up the EMF in generator. So at field current zero, you should have the some voltage. By measuring voltmeter, you can see there is some voltage in DC generators. Okay, now the second one is the speed direction is same as to increase the EMF, or we can call it as a generated EMF. That means the residual magnetism, you already having some EMF, that EMF is going towards the what we can call it as the load side, or divided into shunt winding as well as in load. So the speed must be to increase the induced EMF. It may not decrease. Why? We already know that the generated EMF is directly proportional to flux and speed. Now if the speed direction is same direction and it is going in same way increasing, generated EMF is also increases. Suppose the speed direction is opposite, that means minus n. Now Eg is, if speed reversed, that means if speed is reversed, E is proportional to minus n. Now you can see here, this is opposite to the generated EMF, so that the total net EMF is going to decrease. Now it may not support the, you are already having residual magnetism and further increased EMF. Okay, so the second condition is speed direction is same as to increase the generated EMF. Now similarly, field current also, the field flux is also to increase the generated EMF. As now we discussed already, Eg is proportional to pi into n. So flux direction is also same as the speed direction, so that the net generated EMF is going to increases. We can also write here same as speed direction, same as speed direction, so that you can see here the speed direction is positive and generated EMF is positive. Suppose the flux is reversed, now you can see here Eg is proportional to minus pi into n. Now what happens? The generated EMF is going to decreases. So which causes the net reduction, net induced voltage is going to, induced EMF is going to decrease, so that your flux and speed direction should be in same direction, which may support the generated EMF, so that the total EMF is going to increases. Okay, so the process is slight change. Initially you are having the residual magnetism. It may have some 27 volts. If you take a 5 HP DC motor, 5 HP DC machine, now if you slowly increase the field current, it may goes to 29, it may goes to 30, it may goes to 32. So like this, as you increase the field current, further this generated EMF is also increases slowly. Field current, generated EMF, field current, generated EMF. As the induced voltage again supplies to the field current, again field to generated EMF. So this is a simultaneous process which induces the EMF in DC machine, so that it can supported by flux and speed. Okay, next, the fourth and most important point is the shunt field winding resistance. Shunt field winding resistance should be less than critical field resistance. Critical field resistance. So critical field resistance is the maximum value of resistance. So beyond that, generator may not induces the EMF. We already drawn here. So suppose this is the OCC. Now this is the intersecting point. Now where you are getting the maximum value of resistance of shunt field winding, you can call it as a critical resistance. It is the maximum value of field resistance. So beyond that, this curve may not intersect, so there is no induced EMF. That's why your shunt field winding resistance should be less than critical field winding resistance. Okay, next, the fifth point is the speed of generator must be more than critical speed. Now this is the maximum quantity, now this is a minimum speed. So you should maintain the minimum speed, that is, you can call it as a critical speed. If you go beyond this speed, now shunt generator may not run, it may not induce the EMF. So you should have the minimum value of speed. And we already discussed that critical speed is nothing but where the shunt field winding resistance becomes critical field, then the speed is called as the critical speed. Suppose if your shunt field winding becomes critical field resistance, that should be the maximum value. So since you are getting the speeds correspond to that, will be the critical speed. Now these are the conditions to fulfill the voltage buildup in shunt generator. These are the major points we discussed. Okay, so if fulfill all these points, then the shunt generator induces the EMF and it can supplies to the loads. Now we will discuss what is the conditions to connect DC generators in parallel. So the main conditions for connection of DC generators in parallel is, first one is the incoming generator voltage induced EMF is same as busbar voltage. That means you can also call it as EMF since it is a generator. The incoming generator EMF is same as the bus bar voltage. Suppose these are the two bus bars we are operating and we are connected a one generator here, so which is going to supply. Okay, now what is the load you are going to supply for this generator? So what is the voltage across this generator to connect it to the bus bars? So if the both voltages are same, now this DC generator is going to synchronize it very easily. That means it will be matched with the corresponding bus bar voltage. Otherwise there is a circulating currents fluctuations in the generators. Now the second point is the terminals connected same as the polarity. That means polarity should be same. Since it is a DC, positive terminal is always connected to positive, negative terminal is always connected to negative. So if there is any change, so that again the problem of circulating currents double the voltage, there is a problem with the polarities. And next, third one is the induced EMF. The induced EMF in both generators must be same. Okay, must be. That means according to their voltage drop, the rating, as per the rating of generators, they must be induced the same voltage approximately. So if there is must and should condition, then the parallel operation will be very good. So that if you go for the generators induced EMF according to their drop, armature drop, series drop, and also compound generator, so that's why the induced EMF should be same, then it will be easily going for the parallel operation. Next, the fourth one, most important one, is the generators which are nothing but series and compound generators. Series and compound generators connected by equalizer bar or rings. So in shunt generator, the shunt winding and load will supplies, but whereas when you connect series windings, series generators and compound generators in parallel, the load sharing is depending upon their internal voltage drop. So you have to balance both generators. You should connect the equalizer bar, we call it as a equalizer rings in that generator, so that they can share the load equally. So if the load shared by both generators will be equally, then it will be a perfect parallel operation. Okay, so that continuity will be increases, stability will be increases. If there is any problem, you can detect very easily. So the load will be shifted onto one generator, and you can make the maintenance on one generator, so that you can go for without interruption both generators will be run. So these are the major points we discussed about conditions for the parallel operation of DC generators. Now by following these, we can go for the perfect parallel operation. Now we will discuss about equalizer bar or rings. Now equalizer bar or rings are connected across generators to share the equal load. In series and compound generators, when they are connected in parallel, suppose if the both generators are connected in parallel, it will induce the EMF E1 and it induces the EMF. This is generator 2. Now as a load shared by these two generators will be equal, so the total current is I is supplied since I1 is equal to I2. So that induced EMF is on generators is also remains same. But at one condition you can see E1 is equal to E2 for this case if E1 is greater than E2. Now in this case the problem rises, the load shared by generator 1 be higher than load shared by generator 2. Now in that case we require a equalizer bar or ring to share the load equally. Now it will be a straight bar connected between, so this is the equalizer bar is connected across generator to share the load equally. Now what is the purpose of equalizer bar? Now we discussed when there is an unequal load shared between two generators, now that will be compensated by equalizer bar. Now let us see how it is going to work in series generators. I am discussing similar to compound generators also. Now in this case what is happening, since both currents are same and the induced EMFs are also same. So if induced EMF of one generator is greater than second generator, so load shared by generator 1 is greater than generator 2. Now if load shared by generator 1 is larger than generator 2, what happens? So as this case continues, that means generator 1 is loaded heavily and generator 2 load is less, so further it is going to decrease. That means load on generator 1 increases, now load on generator 2 decreases. Now at one condition what happens? So total load bared by generator 1. Okay, so what happens? So total load shared by generator 1 and generator 2 acts as motor. Now see what happens to the generator 2 as the load on generator 2 decreases. Now it acts as a motor and it acts as a generator, and this generator is fully loaded. This generator is fully loaded, so there is no load on generator 2, it is becoming a motor. That means it is going to take the current, now total load supplied by the generator 1. Now this is the consequences. So one generator acts as a generator and one DC machine acts as a generator and another machine acts as a motor. So that will be compensated by connecting a equalizer bar. Now what is the function of equalizer bar? So this equalizer bar is connected across these two generators. Now whatever the current coming from this generator 1 is also flowing through this generator. So let us say this is I1 dash and this is I1 double dash, since the total current is I1. So since it is connected in parallel to your series winding, some of the current is also flowing through the equalizer bar. Now where this current is going? Now this current is entering into the generator 2. Now again this generator 2 current is also coming I2 and it will form some I2 dash. So this current is also coming to here. Now whatever the current deducted from your actual generator 1 current is added to this generator. Now this process continues. So whatever the load shared on generator 1 is slowly decreasing as this current supplied by generator 1 to the load is also decreases. Why? Some of the current is entering into the equalizer bar. So equalizer bar will increases the current in G2. Now slowly current in generator 2 also increases. Now as the current in generator 2 increases, so the load shared by generator 2 is also increases. Now what happens? It is coming reverse. Now generator 1 load decreases, generator 2 load increases. Now one point what happens? Load on generator 1 is equal to load on generator 2. Now if both loads are same, generator 1 and generator 2 sharing the equal load. Now at that time what happens? So whatever the current drawn by these two generators will be equal. Now since currents in both generators is same, so what is the current in equalizer bar? So there is no current flowing through the equalizer bar. So like this, whatever the current shared by load shared by each generator and current supplied by each generator is equal, there is no current in equalizer ring. If the load shared by generators are not equal, then the equalizer bar comes into function and that divide the load into equal. So if it is done by, can also connect the equalizer bar or ring, and also will have the some conditions to overcome this. So what is the conditions when you connect the equalizer bar and also you make the equal load sharing? That will be, the first point is regulation of both generators should be same. So if both generators regulation, so what is mean by regulation? So here I am talking about the voltage regulation. So voltage drop in both generators should be same, so that the load shared by both generators will be equal. Okay, and the second one is, so whatever the load on these two generators is shared according to their regenerating, we can call it as a regulation, and the EMF of both generators should be proportional. That means their series resistance is inversely proportional to their rating. So what is that? Series resistance is inversely proportional to their ratings. Okay, suppose this generator is having 100 kilowatts. Now it should be having some series resistance 0.05 ohms. Now this is again 90 kilowatts or 100 kilowatts. It should be proportional to their rating, inversely proportional to their rating. So inversely proportional means, as your series resistance is inversely proportional to rating, so series resistance increases, rating will be decreases. So higher the ratings, resistance should be less, so that they can share the load equally. You can connect the different wattage of generators to here, but what is the conditions? Speed regulation, voltage regulation of both generators should be same, and also series resistance must be inversely proportional to the rating of generators. Now this is the equalizer bar concept we will use in lap windings also, whenever commutator segments carry the currents. So whatever the current shared by the segments will be shared equally by connecting the equalizer rings. Now we will discuss the applications of DC generators. We already studied about characteristics, we already studied about their generated EMF, voltage relations, field current relations, series winding resistance, shunt field winding. So depending upon their voltage, current, and also applications, we can use the DC generators in two ways, that is separately excited, and the second one is self-excited. Okay, we know that self-excited is again three types: DC shunt and DC series and DC compound. Okay. Now separately excited generators, we already know that the field winding is excited from the separate source so that they can use it for the constant voltage sources. Okay, so they can use for the constant voltage sources. That means where you require the constant voltage it can supply, since the field winding is separately excited. And if you see the self-excited generators, DC shunt motor, it remains the field is going to be constant. So this is also same as a constant voltage, and also used for battery charging. So these are also used for battery charging. That means at a constant voltage current it can supply this, so that the batteries are going to charge. We can use it to supply the DC voltage. So batteries are the best sources. Now those batteries are charged by DC shunt generator at the constant voltage. And if you see the DC series generators, now series generator characteristic, if you see, so the voltage is going to increase until the poles are going to be saturated. Now by using that we can say that the voltage drop is going to be compensated in distribution lines. Okay, so that they can use it as a voltage, boosters in distribution system. Okay, voltage boosters as in distribution system. Again, DC compound generators. So under compound generators we may not use, we can go for a practical laboratory analysis, but flat compound as well as over compounded we can use. So if you see the over compound, if we use the over compound and level or flat compound. Okay, over compound means again the voltage drop in the system is going to be compensated. So it is similar to the DC series generator. So it can also act as a booster, so which will compensate the voltage drop in the distribution system, whereas the flat compound generators are again used for the constant voltage sources. These are also used for constant voltage sources. Why? Since the generated EMF and supplies the load voltage both are equal, they can use it for the constant voltage sources. Now like this we can go for the different applications of DC generators. Basically we can discuss about the shunt and series and compound generators. So if you go for the characteristics of different generators, you may go for DC shunt generator, may have straight characteristics. We can detect the armature reaction and the armature drop. So the remaining voltage is going to be affected when it is going to be loaded. So since by making the speed constant by adjusting the field current, whereas series generators having some rising characteristics, so until the poles are saturated they can be used for the booster voltage compensation in the distribution system, whereas the compound generators, flat compound, can same as your shunt generator, but the over compounded we can similar to the series generators. Now in this way all the applications we can go through the DC generators and we can apply it effectively, so that the efficiency also improves.